Good afternoon, traders. It is Monday, July 20th, 2015, and the U.S. stock market is closed. We made money today, but it was a little disappointing. You know, we had $15,000 in open trade equity on Friday, and everything looked pretty good, and I was pretty up. We ended up closing out 8,600, a little more than half that. But in addition to that, we managed to get into nearly negative $5,000 in what we're carrying into tomorrow. So, you know, on balance, it doesn't look like a very strong, profitable day, considering that we had $15,000 profitable on Friday. I can show you a little what's happening, but you can look here at the Dow chart, and you can see what's happening. We're up here just above that 18,000 mark, and that has given us tons of trouble in the past. We're just kind of hanging up here. Dow did close up all of 13 points today, but you know, it's unfortunately, you know, it's run out of steam up here. And we need it to come down, I think, to really make some good money again. So I'm hoping the Dow will fall tomorrow. I've been not predicting too much, but I'll predict the Dow's going down tomorrow, and I hope it does, because we need it to come down to make some money. We got into 6 positions today. 2 are positive, 4 are negative. You know, it just doesn't look really good, and this just looks to me like the Dow has run out of steam. I'll show you some individual stocks that might kind of tell you what's been going on today. As I say, we did make a little money, but just not as much as I would like to have. This was the kind of the big disappointment of the day. This is Etsy, and we had bought this thing on Friday. When Etsy was up here, it was up, I think it made it to positive $15,000. I mean, this was just like a gangbusters trade, and then it came back quite a bit here, but then it bounced back up. And even though this close wasn't the most beautiful close on Friday, we were still up over $12,000 in Etsy, so that just looked fabulous. Unfortunately, it gaps down this morning, and when we finally get out of this, excuse me, when we finally get out of this here, we've made $4,600. $4,600 is not a bad trade, let's face it, but you know, I've sat here and watched this go from like positive 15,000 to finally where we get out at 4,600, and it feels like a loss to me, even though 4,600 is a pretty good trade. Anyway, just a little disappointing. It happens. I'll show you one that wasn't disappointing, that we made some pretty decent money on, and that was China Eastern Airlines. I actually kind of like these stocks because they don't do all this crazy stuff during the trading day that we're used to with some of our other stuff, like Etsy did. And we had this huge gap on Thursday, and we bought that. And of course, it didn't do anything, but basically flatlined on Thursday. But then we had this a second huge gap on Friday, put us really in the money. And then we even got a mini gap this morning, and when we got out of there, we took $5,000 out of China Eastern Airlines. So that looks very stable, very nice trade, and I'm very pleased with that stock. I'll show you. I don't mean to pick on Shake Shack here. Let me open this up. Where the heck is this thing? Here we go. I called this Shit Shack a few days ago, and then on Friday I said, well, I kind of changed my mind. It looked like it was doing pretty good stuff. Well, I'm back to calling it Shit Shack again today. I'll tell you why. We got into this Friday, and then it gaps up this morning, but then it comes down just in time to get us out. We still made $1,600 in Shake Shack. So that would have been fine if we just left it alone. But then the thing starts to rally after we get out, and it pops up here, this big spike here on this 15-minute bar a little early in the afternoon, and we buy that almost at the top, and then it fails. And guess what? We're holding negative $1,600 going into tomorrow. So positive 1,600, negative 1,600. It looks like Shake Shack hadn't done anything for us yet other than cause us some problems. So anyway, hopefully this stock will get its act together and we'll start making some money in it. Anyway, so kind of a disappointing day, but still we did make money, so I shouldn't complain. This is Trader Bob signing off. I'll see you all tomorrow on Tuesday.